with the second regional breakdown, and this time, Heroes got a story to tell you guys. 34.8% of you have not smashed the crap out of that subscribe. Smash this so we can get to 100K, baby. All right, the breakdown for the Action Sports Regional is here for you guys. You guys should be happy. I did all this time. I love researching stuff like this. It's so awesome. So, you know, like the video for that. So your breakdown for this event's a little bit different from what we saw from the side deck. This is going to be a little bit more reflective of, I would say, a little bit more balanced metagame here. Highest representation in top 8 for this event was 2 Dragon Link and 2 copies of Tri-Brigade. Now, this is typically in these metagame reviews, we're going to lump Tri-Brigade up with Lyricalist Tri-Brigade because they are still playing the Tri-Brigade package. So, for intensive purposes for that, yes, we are playing Tri-Brigade. We had 1 10-Yi Sword Soul, which the person deleted the deck profile before I saved it. I looked at it. It was... Sorry about that, so I don't have that for you guys. I do have the hero deck profile. Yes, pure heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Finally getting some love out here. Destroy Phoenix and Force has been kind of just lumped into everything else at this point. But interestingly enough, we finally got the chance to see somebody lock it down with a top 8 finish. And that is actually the first hero list on record that I have seen so far from a regional competition do well. We also had 1 Drytron doing well as well. Then we had 1 Virtual World. Now, Virtual World's been in a very awkward position this format. I feel like with the release of Cupid Pitch, a lot of players were trying to do like the Psy-Frame package and like trying all this weird stuff, but I feel like this deck's greatest weakness is itself. But VW locked down first place out of this regional, telling a much different story than, you know, 10-Yi Sword Soul doing the best thing. VW climbed up through the ranks here, actually, with second place being Drytron for this event, which, once again, is very interesting stuff. So let's go check out what these deck lists were for this event, shall we? First place list out of this regional was Sergio Gutierrez playing Virtual World. Now, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, we are not playing anything new in the main deck. Everything is the old, nice, typical Spice. We've all known there are no talents in the main deck. We do have talents. Apologies for that. I missed that one. We're on the Triple Desires here. We're on Double Droll. Droll is a pretty good powerhouse here at this point in time. And down here, Token Collector makes its way into the side decks yet again, showing us that this is doing stuff. I also see that we are playing the Godarla here. So if your opponent does end up playing Stormwinds out here to inconvenience you, this is your nice calculation of choice to break the board. Keep in mind that we are not doing Muddy Mud Dragon shenanigans here. We are just going to go to Tzolk'in into Standard Crystal, and we're going to make the very minimal board here, which should be enough to get the game progressively back to our turn so that we can, you know, recombo up and do Lulu shenanigans again. Actually, unlike the bare minimum board of ending with effectively, Tzolk'in Crystal Wing, Chu-Chi with, Shen Shen standing beside it. Shen Shen's a very good card. If you can win dice rolls 95% of the time, this is going to put you in such a big position that your opponent's going to have a really hard time kind of climbing out of this. So if you're wondering why this deck still does good, Sun Shin turn 1 is just one of the craziest cards that you could actually have in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Next up here, this was Yitong's second place finish for Drytron. Now, we are doing the Little Herald this time. I know it's Drytron. You're like, what kind of like crazy innovations do you get? Well, this particular build went, you know what? We're going to get saucy out here. We're going to try the Little Herald here so we can, use the little preparation of rights here. So you have X as the pre-preps and the regular preps. You should be resolving like a lot of searches and pretty much maintaining everything that this deck typically does. We are into the 2 Heralds here. We are also on 43 cards, which I think is fine. Outside of that, the extra deck looks pretty standard in construction. In the side deck, you have those Dark Ruler No Mores. Dark Ruler No Mores also pretty much moved on in here as a standard out to handling the metagame. So outside of that, there's nothing too crazy or exciting to really say about this, but this particular axis is playing the Little Herald, so you can basically take more of an advantage of, shenanigans at this point. Hello, good Draconius. Next up here, we have Dragon Link. This was third place. This was Brandon Dennis's Dragon Link list. So we are basically going second here. We're going to break boards, and we are going to do our thing. Dragon Link has had such a struggle time this format. You know, it's still very much a top 5 deck, but not only do you need to see some Dark Row No Mores in certain situations to be able to play the game, I feel like because you are so reliant on these board breaking pieces, if the game doesn't go your way, or you don't see one of your power cards like Gamma, Nibiru, Droplet, it's just going to be a bad time. But your trade-off here is, ladies and gentlemen, when this deck makes its board, it's a powerhouse. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss is a stupid good card. Alright, and one other thing I do want to point out down here, Anti-Spell Fragrance being sported off in a lot of decks this weekend. Alright, this card right here, in whatever matchup that you need this for, alright, if you're playing against a Drytron or something like that, just slow them out of the game with this, with a huge built board. You should be winning 95% of the time. That is your advantage with this card here, and seeing a deck like Dragon Link taking advantage of this is fine. Also, to take note here, this Dragon deck also is cut Chamber, and we're not playing Tidying, so they've just pretty much scrubbed that engine, or this player just didn't have access to Chambers before the event. But either way, that is an innovation at this stage in the game for this deck. Next up here, we have Melfi Brigade. Alright, this would have been Vivek Skrivizian's Tri-Brigade list. I'm sorry if I butchered that, by the way. I'm horrible with names. It's been a little while since we've seen people messing around with the Callisto package. Just kind of came up all pre-Burst of Destiny. I've seen a lot of players were messing around with this, and they were like, oh my god, the Melfi package was so good for the interruptions it created, and then it just disappeared. And I mean, Obedience Schooled is really good in this deck. Let's be honest here. Being able to just BS, get free bodies on the field to win the game, in the shenanigans that the Rescue Cats create, yeah, this was pretty freaking good, all things considered. But I feel like at this point in time, the format's just kind of shifted away from this. But that's not to say that this still isn't a potential good contender at the end of the day. So I'd kind of keep an eye on this at this point in time. Just kind of give this consideration as we go forward here, that, you know, if you don't want to mess around with any of the other cool ideas, then try this one. All right, the last list that we have out of this event is Ramiro Steinman's hero list. Now, heroes have struggled so freaking hard in the modern format in order to keep up with the metagame. And Ramiro, even coming in just 8th place, squeaking into that top 8 finish here, I think is very important to note here, because this is what we've kind of seen for the evolution of heroes. Now, Denier was a massively powerful card that a lot of players were excited to see, because it allowed you to recycle the Malicious for the next spin around here so that you could continue producing those boss monsters, because this is heroes, all right? You need to be able to make all those combo pieces go around. Well, unfortunately, you're still suffering from some of the same problems that you've had, and I think that, unfortunately, this is going to be one of the decks that has to play the Crossout Designator package at this stage. And as much as I want to be optimistic here and be like, oh no, you can play heroes without this, Nibiru is death to you. Alright, any of those big hand traps that you know are going to ruin your day. Droll and Logbird ruins your day. Ash Blossom ruins your day. You know, producing these big boards and being forced to just lose to those cards is something that you're going to have to deal with as a hero player. So, siding in the Nibirus here to counter that is good. Now, one interesting thing here for this particular build is he is, in fact, siding the Revolt so that he can cross out Designator it. Alright, now that mind boggles me that this duelist has actually had the brain power to do that interaction. Because, I mean, let's be honest here, Revolt is just such a blowout card. So if you play against Tri-Brigade, you already know you're going to have a massively hard time with that matchup. This card lets you round out that horrible matchup and make your life so much easier. So I got to give it up, ladies and gentlemen. This duelist found the way to make sure that heroes could still functionally work in the year 2022, with everything being so much faster at this point in the format. And I gotta give it to him. Alright, DPE Turbo effectively is just gotten a lot better. The deck that can actually hard make this is absolutely amazing to me. So yes, this is, like I said, the first hero deck that actually had the chance to find success in the modern era of Yu-Gi-Oh! So guys, what do you think about this regional breakdown? I still have 2 more regional breakdowns coming. There's a whole bunch of info from this weekend. So guys, sit tight. I hope you guys enjoyed the Action Sports Games breakdown for this event, guys. Leave a comment down below. Too much you guys think. Smash the like button, that subscribe button, so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day for some more cool, awesome content. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by Vanquill40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out imquillgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.